a lawyer. I am a Victorian public servant.
I'm a Ovarian Cancer Australia Ambassador.
I'm a heart-centred veterinarian, and I'm also
passionate about social inclusion and social justice.
I'm a proud Aboriginal woman.
I'm also a local artist.
I'm a lecturer in IT at Deakin University.
A leader of a major healthcare organisation.
I'm a president and I'm a director.
And I'm a mad keen Geelong supporter.
A teacher.
A mother of 3 beautiful children.
I'm a proud mother of 2.
I'm a sister. I'm a friend.
and a friend.
A friend and a dog mum.
I'm a dog mum. I love to cook. And I love my community.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a bit of everything. One day I could be a doctor, one day I could be a princess. It was the birth of my nephew that made me decide I wanted to do midwifery, but I always thought I wasn't smart enough to do it. So it wasn't until I completed my Aboriginal health practitioner studies last year that I knew that I could pursue my dream. My name's KYLIE. I'm born and raised here in Northern Country, but my mob is Wemba, so from Swan Hill. My background is from my grandfather and also my mother, but I have Dutch heritage from my father. So I'm studying my Bachelor of Midwifery in March at Australian Catholic University. So I have a 5-year goal, so 3 years of study and then 2 years to find my feet working hopefully within Geelong area. And then my long-term goal is I want to go to Darwin and work in the remote communities up there. They are just so gentle and generous because they're not used to just having much. And I want to give back to communities. I'm most inspired by the women that I've got in my life, from my family to the women I work with or that I've grown up with. And then I've got lots of strong women within my community at Watherong. They've always pushed me to keep on track. Without that support over the years, I feel like sometimes I actually wouldn't be sitting here today. I made some poorer choices when I was younger. I definitely would not be achieving the goals that I am. I'd probably just be, another sort of statistic. If I looked back, or even 10 years ago, I wouldn't think I'd be in this position.
I think it's very important to celebrate women because we are incredible.
There are so many amazing women in our community.
I've been really lucky to be surrounded by women who bring each other up and celebrate.
I believe celebrating women in our community in leadership is very important for the diversity that we need to bring to our community.
A strong community, in my view, is made up of strong people with beliefs or involvements in things and making it their aim to make that better for other people.
As a woman in IT, I believe that this celebration can be a good encourage for the female students to be involved in science and technology and mathematics and engineering.
So often we're only celebrating men who achieve things in society because they've been given more opportunities. So I think it's really important that we celebrate women and make sure that we reflect all of society and all of the people who are doing such fantastic work in the community.
Why shouldn't we be celebrated?
I'm currently employed as a senior legal counsel with the Institute of Sisters of Mercy. I also am a board member at Barwon Health and have been for the past 5 to 6 years. I grew up in a family that was very disadvantaged and poor, but fortunately they enrolled us in a Catholic primary school where discipline was harsh and learning was good. And I went to a parish school and got a very good education, and I think that that's what set me on my way. After high school, I started studying arts. One of the subjects that I took was legal studies. I really enjoyed having a sense of justice and wanting to help others. I was always interested in women's place in the law, particularly because at the time that I was studying law and at the time that I became a lawyer, we were in a minority, a serious minority. I feel like I've had an enormously privileged working life. I've mentored young women in a legal aid organisation. I've taught them how to obtain domestic violence orders for women. I'd go off to the local magistrates' court and represent the dozen or so women who were needing to obtain restraining intervention orders at the local court. I wouldn't mind doing it when I'm 70 years old. It's, if it has to be done, it needs to be done. And I would never think that I was too senior to do that work because I just think it's so important to do. Working now in an area that's really difficult, which involves survivors of historical childhood abuse, I consider this a privilege to do this work irrespective of how hard it is, because it is the most important work to try and correct the wrongs of the past, and that's the work that I'm currently involved in and enjoy it immensely.
There's still some industries I find that are male dominant, and it can be hard to break some of history and some of the usual mould.
I feel that obstacles in our way are still leadership roles and recognition of equal pay.
In terms of the workplace, women can be criticised compared to men if they're overconfident or too bossy or too opinionated.
A lot of women, from what we've heard, are afraid of taking that jump into community leadership.
Absolutely, progress has been made. There's still a lot to go. I guess even when we're thinking about things like language, some people might say it's political correctness, but what we know is language shapes the way that our world is created. And I think we as a society can and are doing better. And that's shaped by the way we talk about people and the way we introduce people and the way we acknowledge people in their existence.
When I was young, I wanted to be an inventor. I didn't know any inventors. I don't know why. I was just really intrigued by how things worked. Not long after that, I guess I wanted to become a police officer and join the army. Linda Hamilton from Terminator 2, she was my hero. I was really infatuated with women in roles of power and strength. My name's KYLIE Clarke, and I'm a proud Gunditjmara, Watchabolit and Ngarrindjeri woman through my father's bloodline. I was born and raised here on Wadawurrung country. I work for an organisation called Wentunga Health Network. Wentunga means to understand. It's a Wadawurrung word. The organisation aims to contribute to the health equity of our people here in Victoria. And within our organisation is the Nyangakumunki program, which I lead here in Geelong. And Nyangakumunki means to hear within. It's an important message that we send to our young women. And the aim of our program is to back and nurture the aspirations and the journeys of young Aboriginal women who are looking at becoming health professionals and the responsibilities that bring in terms of contributing to the health outcomes of Aboriginal people. I'm passionate about education and now recently more health, and in my current role those two passions have seemed to combine for the most perfect role for me. Another really important component of that journey and of our time with the young women and their families is to create a sisterhood, that sense of, hey, Titta girl, oh, you're interested in nursing too, or you're a Gunditjmara woman as well. It's that sense of creating a space where our young women feel that they belong and they can rely on one another and connect and
come the time when they are, they have gone through school and they are at university and they need to rely on one another. It's like we're creating a little network within networks. So there's a lot of strength that comes with that sense of sisterhood. I love what I do and I love meeting mob out in community and, hearing about their stories and their aspirations and being a part of the bigger picture, bring things forward for our mob.
Well, art to me is connecting to community, building confidence, self-esteem, and a form of relaxation. I have art school, which is in Ocean Grove, and we create, make and educate art. It's like a community hub. I have an experience of mental health. I was one of the first with NDIS, and it's through Wellways that I had the opportunity to have some supports. From little things, big things grow. So from my garage to a big warehouse in the industrial estate Ocean Grove, we had before COVID about 750 students come through. We had an inclusive art program, so they're usually beginners, but we worked with Gen U and they came through, people with intellectual disability and mental health. We also have people coming who have MS or amputees. I've even got this beautiful girl who is in Year 9 doing multimedia digital art, and she came along and wanted to do art. So, of course, what do we do with someone who can't use their arms? We taught her to use a stylus, and she's doing digital art and her work's beautiful. So that set her up for a career as an adult, and I'm very proud of her.
Even though we've come so far in terms of gender equality, it always kind of feels like it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. And the more we can do to raise each other up, I think the better our society will be.
Within that mix, there is gender diversity, cultural diversity, religious diversity. So each person has their own power, and I think we can start providing strength, education, and making sure people have a really clear understanding. Then I think that helps.
We just need to empower each other, have each other's back. The more that we stand up for each other, the louder our voices are.
There's still some work to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that every step we make is positive, but I think, it's up to us to sort of still put ourselves forward and to try to help the world know that we're here and we need to, be seen as equals, definitely.
Yeah, and we can.
Yeah. And we can do it, yeah, absolutely.
I'm an arts facilitator. I'm the volunteer artistic advisor for all 3 sections of Jasoda, and I'm also the wardrobe coordinator and hirer of all the costumes. We moved from Ballarat to Geelong when I was 8 years old, and we had relatives that were involved with the Geelong Musical Comedy Company, which was the adult arm of Jasoda, and they said in 1965 we're going to start a junior group. The rest is history. We just went there, loved it. They did 2 shows a year, a concert-style show and a musical. You were in an environment that allowed you to be the best person that you could be. It was always supportive, encouraging. Basically, I just stayed. And in almost 50 years of being involved on the other side of Jasoda, there's probably been thousands of young people have come through that company, from 10-year-olds through to 17-year-olds. I always say to them, believe in yourself, have no self-doubt, and that when you're coming up for an audition or anything at all, you say to yourself, I can do this. That is the really important thing. And support one another. I'll be around in Jasoda for a long time to come, I hope. I think it's the camaraderie, what it brings and what it means to me to be surrounded by those people and to see the joy they get from being part of that community over the years is just really important to me.
To me, what an equitable society looks like, it looks like a society where there is no difference between gender, race, or disability. It's a society where power and privilege are not to the fore. It's a society in which people can advance and are advanced on the basis of merit.
I've got a sense of pride in myself. I think it's still a bit surreal as well that I'm actually have made that step in achieving something that was once just a dream for me.
If you have hopes and dreams, just eliminate all doubt. Don't listen to people that want to hold you down. It's a matter of knowing, like trusting your instinct, like listening within and knowing that, who you want to be and where you want to be is 100% achievable.